There he is.
Here I am.
How are you, sir?
For what it's worth.
Ah,
I am doing splendid.
excellent.
Looking good and in fighting shape. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, fighting shape is the key word here
Yes,
because it is Tom Myers versus the entire planet,
the
the entire
legend,
planet Earth
the
right now.
legend.
Um, but before that, I got to get to everybody. It's on everybody's mind. It's controversial. It's
Oh
all
boy.
everybody's talking about.
Oh boy.
Did Maryland travel in that game against Colorado State? This is I can't get away from it right now. What's the answer here?
Honestly, college college sports, like unless it's baseball, like it bores the hell out of me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
Thank
it's
you.
like really the only time that we're able to go ahead and just really get immersed in Maryland collegiate sports is if there's a riot, like down in College Park, like once the games are over. I mean, that's where we are. Like in terms of a state, like we're not like a big state like New York or California. So it's just like anytime we get the chance to make a news, even if it's for doing something stupid. Like, Eagles and Phillies fans think they've got it covered, but it's like in Maryland, we do this year round, man. It's like
yeah,
we know how to go fucking ape shit.
yeah, yeah. Certainly you do.
But you do it with distinction in Maryland.
We do
For
have the
sure.
what?
You do it with distinction in Maryland. You guys have it down pat. There's no erratic stuff. It's not
I
batteries
mean,
one week.
we have it down to a science at this point. It's just
Yeah.
practice, practice, practice. It's you gotta be you gotta be covert. It's like a stick and move in and out type of thing, and just you do what you gotta do, and then you fuck off basically. Just no no mucking about, as my English ancestors would have said so many years ago.
Well, Ray Lewis is the ambassador for this. So
Yeah.
whatever line you fall on Ray Lewis, he's still the quintessential Baltimore sports figure in my mind. You
Oh,
know,
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
He didn't kill no motherfucking body.
yeah. I mean, he was found innocent, so court of
Well,
law,
actually,
man.
technically, I think he took a plea to like being an accomplice or something along those lines. So that was still technically a conviction on his part. But I mean, he did go ahead and use that as an experience to go ahead and sort of mentor the younger players on the team. Like, hey, because if you have a certain level of fame, people do want to try and get you involved in all kinds of seedy bullshit and get you involved in and God knows like what uh, unimaginative horrors that could sully up your name. So it's no, I mean he's been a pretty good ambassador for the sport and for definitely for the city and for the city of Baltimore and for the whole state of Maryland. So yeah, mad props to him.
Yeah, I love Ray Lewis. He's still probably, I don't know how long it's been, what, 20 years since he's been retired, and he's still that feared,
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
a dangerous man.
Yeah, they still talk about him with
I
that,
mean,
that
yeah,
reverence.
he was with the team from the time that they moved here from Cleveland. So, and I think I think it was what was more amazing about him was that the last year he played, he had an injury, and
Yeah.
everybody was saying you're out for the rest of the season. And then that was the year that the last year that the Ravens went to the Super Bowl and won, and which he recovered enough to go ahead and play in that. And that was his like, final play was they put him in as quarterback when they knew that they had won. They took a knee. Ravens won. There was the Super Bowl. They took the whole gamut. So it was like, for the little controversy that he had for a little bit in his career, the court case, for him to come back from that is just uh absolutely astounding. It's like the Marylanders, we use, especially me in particular, with my little very public mishaps I've had in what you might call my entertainment career. It's like our little missteps, mishaps, whatnot. We use those as kind of as a badge of honor. They're like, so fucking what? We'll get back up and we'll go ahead and do a better job, and just sort of as a fuck you to our critics, of which I've done that many, many, many times. Like
Well,
I
you
think
just
I'm on. Yeah, I think I'm on like my 28th redemption arc at this point. This interview might actually do it. This might help me
well, we're going to
get over the
change
hump,
that.
I
We're
think.
going back the other way with it, Tom. We're going into the dirt.
Back into the darkness here.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
like
it
this
is.
whole versus the world thing because
Yeah.
That's where I feel like home, really. In New
Yeah.
York.
Speaking of home, are you from Haverty Grace? Or are you like Aberdeen? Which you're from that area?
I am from Harford County, because I think you said earlier that you're sort of like local, or you were local, or you have some connections.
I
in
have
that.
family a lot of family that live there still. Yeah, my mom's from there, and I have cousins.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
second
Okay.
cousins that live there. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
during my drinking days, I've probably gone drinking with them in places like
certainly.
Sean
There's no doubt
Colin's,
you've
probably.
seen
It's called Smaltimore for a reason. Tiny town, Charm City.
Just
But no,
real
I
quick,
actually live in.
real
I
quick.
live
Did
in
you know any half Italian, half Irish pieces of garbage up there? Because that might have been, who.
You're gonna have to really narrow that down, because
The entire
it's like,
town.
well, you get to St. Patrick's Day. It's
Yeah.
like it's a gamut at that point.
Yeah.
But no, I actually live in in Falston. I don't know if you're too
Okay.
if you're
Yeah,
familiar
yeah,
with that area. It's right outside. It's right outside Bel Air. So I'm actually
Yeah.
like 30 minutes from the Aberdeen Havre de Grace area. So
Okay.
so I'm a lifelong resident of this area, despite the fact that I'm world renowned, and I've been mistaken for a Washington D.C. comedian. I've been mistaken for a New York comedian at some point.
Well, aren't they all comedians in Washington D.C.? Okay, you're Tom.
No, I mean, well, no, they try to be. No, they're more like failed open micers.
Yeah, this is true.
And I know
that may be
because
giving
I
too
cover
much
them
credit.
on my show.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't want to say my family's name, but let's just say my uncle is a baseball player that had a certain streak going on. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
No.
But that is your middle.
So the cow.
well,
Yeah.
I got one better. Mine was a actor who had a run-in with a president of the United States because he was pissed off about how he lost during the Civil War. No, I'm just teasing. But no, like it's weird. Like that's one of our more like notable residents, is like the first successful presidential assassin. Like grew up like 20 minutes from me. So that's
And the guy, one thing the guy never got credit for was his ability to run.
I was going to say his
because-
marksmanship.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, but still, you're in a theater, it's dark. But he ain't center.
So he breaks his leg and then runs away and gets away for a while.
That's-
Tough dude.
That's legend. Like that's basically like every single one of my neighbors. Oh, I have a broken leg. Oh, I'll tough this shit out. All right.
Yeah. Let's go get some crabs. Get some natty bows and drink them up.
Just wrap some tape around that, hon. You're good.
that's it.
Yo, did you grab enough papers to cover that table with?
Speaking of my uncle Cal Ripken Jr. Did they ever solve that? The person who kidnapped his mom, did that ever get solved? I don't know why I'm bringing this up. This is a weird topic, but
I've got to tread very carefully on this one, because the Ripkins are my employer at one of my jobs.
Oh, okay.
I do public address announcing for the youth baseball tournaments at their complex in Aberdeen. So I do spend a good amount of time in Aberdeen. So it's like, in addition to this, like whatever bullshit this is, I do get paid to watch baseball and talk into a microphone. I don't do play by play, but it's still a pretty sweet gig nonetheless.
So you do it at the stadium, at the Ripken Stadium?
Not at, well, they do use the stadium for some games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for the older groups. Like my specialty is like the 9s through the 12-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
They're on smaller fields. They have at that complex. It's like a miniature version. They're all miniature versions of major league ballparks. Like they have
Yeah.
one after like Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park. So everyone has public address announcers. So it's like their philosophy is like very few kids who play baseball, like a very very small percentage of them get to go to the big leagues, much less go to the minors. So it's like this is their chance to have like the big league experience. So I think like only one. And I've done this for like 14 years now. Only one player I've announced has gone onto the majors, and that's Ryan Volpe with the New York Yankees. So
Oh,
he's on that team. So
It's really awesome.
now at the
yeah,
mini Yankee Stadium, do they make them shave? All the kids shave. They can't have the facial hair at the.
well, at that age, a lot of them can't really grow it. So
I-
that is kind of.
I don't know kids. I've never been around them.
Yeah, judge's order.
I can't be around them technically. No.
Not with that injunction on you.
I'll tell you though, I do want that Billy Ripken baseball card. I'm still searching for the infamous Billy Ripken baseball card. I love it. With the
where the
fuck face
fuck
on
face
the-
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Love that.
legend. Like yeah, it's like again, they're practically like you're in the same county around here. They're practically neighbors. So I was like, oh, around here it's just it's not a big thing. It's not a big deal at all.
I think my mom may have gone to school with Cal Ripken at some point when she was younger, but she lived there and she doesn't really know
Anything?
sports at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, she could have been best friends with him for that matter.
Well, I went to school. Talk about a flex here. I'm going to name drop. So Frank Zappa grew up in this area at one point. Like I think his dad worked worked at one of the military bases
he
in
worked
Maryland.
at Aberdeen Proving Ground.
Aberdeen Proving Ground. Yes.
Yeah. My great uncle worked there. Yeah.
And so I went to school with two of his nieces. One of his nieces was in my graduating class, and a buddy of mine who's in an older grade bragged that he got to go on a date with with one of his nieces. So like that's like that was his big glory moment from his high school days. Like I said, where I am, we don't really have a whole shit ton going on here. So it was like,
it's a great area though. I love that area.
I was like, why do you think I do this? Like I do this, and suddenly I'm one of the I'm one of the top 50 people under 50 years of age in Harford County. So
there you go.
I could be in that exclusive club.
Yeah, well, you do actually happen to be really good at what you do. That could have something to do with it.
Stop! You're making me blush, guys.
I'm just saying.
You're inflating my ego more than it needs to be, man.
We wanted to see it properly fluffed.
Yeah,
for once.
That's what we like to fluff.
We do fluff,
and then you do what you want with it after that. But we fluff it up.
Yeah,
that's what we're here. We're not here for anything. Not for the finish, but for the fluff. Right?
You're fluff. Yeah,
I don't know. This
fluff institution.
It's got weird.
It's got real weird.
So
sounds like every one of my dates, to be honest.
If a podcast were my date, it would be the holding the hair while she throws up, and then I drive her.
I was gonna say while you wrap the tape around her mouth.
Oh yeah.
Allegedly.
Again,
YouTube's terms of service in case this gets uploaded anywhere.
So, Tom Myers versus the world, right?
Versus the rest of the world.
The rest of the world, right?
There you go. It's on the. There we go.
I like to single out everybody.
No, of course. I mean, it's no. I mean, basically, it's at this point. People often ask me to describe the show, and with the way things have been going lately, I could just boil it down to like, I'm trying to save democracy, and that's it. Like, you pretty much get what the show is about. You pretty much get where I'm coming from, and it's like people are either excited about it or they completely tune out whenever I say it.
Do you doing this? I mean, you're obviously like when you take that approach, there's going to be automatically people that you're going to get blowback from that, right? But you're ready for that, right? I mean, that's what
I think Tom Myers might be ready for some
right.
movie. I think Tom knows what he's doing.
But yeah, for sure. But you were ready.
Yeah, I
for
might
that,
be
of
ready
course.
for some. I might be ready for some. To quote Arlo Guthrie in that famous song, "Some mean, nasty, ugly things, and they'll say I'm all right to me."
That is the first and only podcast we'll ever have Arlo Guthrie quoted to us, and I'm here for it, man. I love it.
I do a lot of weird shit on podcasts. You will find that out in the next, however long you plan to keep me held hostage here.
4 or 5 hours. It's whatever.
Okay, all right.
But
The trial period ends in 20 minutes. So
yeah.
your
Sorry,
word.
Holy shit, this is on AOL. That's fucking great.
Don't worry, I have plenty of CDs. I've saved them over the years.
The drive on this fucker.
Whatever happened to those
AKA
CDs?
coasters. Well, they all became coasters. I think.
Oh yeah, I used them for coasters.
In the South, it was also target practice.
Yeah, skeet shooting.
Throw those fuckers in the sky and just blast them out with a shotgun.
Ain't daggone socialist AOL CDs.
That ain't the real alphabet.
Nothing wrong with my phone line.
What is the alphabet? We don't know. Fuck it.
Fuck that.
That's aliens talking.
Fuck your Yankee learning.
Hey, we're not Yankees down here. Orioles. No. We're excited about the new season. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was always given the choice of, well, not the choice. I had to decide between the Orioles and the Red Sox because my grandmother was from Boston. My grandfather was from Havre de Grace area. And
I think you've curiously chosen the Tar Heels hat today.
This is I'm from here, and it was they made me wear it. I can't say why, but I went Red Sox, and now the last couple of years, I'm starting to regret that. To be honest with you,
listen, it's like we'll welcome you back into the fold. I mean, it's like, listen, we're the Orioles. We'll take anybody at this point if they give us the energy, and if they like one of our biggest fans, one of our more famous fans is Joan Jett. So you'll be in very good company. It's like me, Joan Jett, and
Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld.
You guys. Oh, Elaine Bennis, yes.
I'm not sure about Julie Louis-Dreyfus, but
I'd go to that party.
Yeah, I would go to that party in a second. I'd go to any party with Elaine Bennis.
That's true.
94 or whatever it was.
You have a problem.
That episode, yeah, I do.
Well, wait, even I would be a better dancer than her, I think.
That's true.
By comparison.
I can tell you've got a dancer's soul. You just
the soul dances, but with my leg and back problems and the fact that I'm 42, I could severely hurt myself. Like maybe I could get away. Like maybe I could do like the Peter Boyle dance in Young Frankenstein. Right. Like I could probably get away with doing that, but aside from that, it's just like, I'm not in my mid-20s anymore. It's like there's a lot of shit that I don't do in my mid-20s that I do now. Like I think to myself, thank God that was only a fart.
Yeah.
Wish I had that. Those were the days.
Yeah, that whole taking the butthole for granted thing, that's a perspective in life you don't come to really cherish until that's a problem.
That was like that Louis C.K. bit back in the day where he's talking about like everything. He's had too many times where it's like that close of a call. Everything's, there's too many emergencies in his life.
Danger close.
Yeah. But you know what? If you're not living dangerously, I mean, look, it's do I run around with scissors in my hand? Yes, but I also take chances on making it to the bathroom without with diarrhea. You got to do that because what else?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's great. It's like that ad was like the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. It's like no, bro, you know what makes me happy? Getting back in bed after I've peed. Like that's that's living right there. Like fuck touring for comedy and traveling and all that stuff and getting applause breaks in my act. Like I go for the simple things now. Like things I never thought I would enjoy.
I'll give you a life hack. Just go ahead and do it in bed.
Tom Myers sleeping pills.
Huh?
Tom Myers sleeping pills.
Mm-hmm.
The best part of waking up is going back to sleep.
And Tom Myers sleeping pills. In other words, every single one of my albums. But
That's not true.
I can self-deprecate despite what they say about me on
Tom,
Reddit.
why are you so hard on yourself? Come on now.
Yeah, come on. We're here to work some stuff out.
We're here to. That's what we need. And you know what?
I have to be hard on myself because at 42 I can't really get that hard anymore. But
and that's why we're fluffing it. Hello, let's go.
Hey.
So the show, yeah, it's going well. You guys are you're rotating guests, but you have some frequent flyers, you would say. Is there anybody on the show that you're looking forward to having or haven't had yet? That like you scheduled or you have a wish list at this point?
I mean, pretty much, like, you know, I sort of take a different tact from most podcasters and people who do this. Like, I'll go ahead and send out invites. Like, I won't tell you some of the people who've said no or who I'm getting ready to ask because I don't want to, dox anybody. But I'm of the tact where, like, if they don't get back to me or if they say no, then it's like, okay, no big deal. Like, for example, I had this one where I get a lot of invites to do shows, and I carefully vet them. Like, I asked around about you guys, and everybody says you're on the up and up. So unless everybody's trolling me, like so far,
came through.
A lot of liars.
But I'll go ahead and say no to some people. They'll say, "Hey, I'm a big fan," and I go ahead and look at it. And if the production value is not there, or if it just seems like they don't really know what they're doing, I'll just say like, "Thanks, but no thanks." And say, "Okay," and then they'll turn around the following show that they do and just completely trash me. So they go
Name
from
4 of them. Go ahead. Let's get them out. Let's 4 names.
Explain these fuckers right now.
Come on, Tom.
Hey, by the way, I'm sorry we're not in our regular studio today.
Yeah, we had a quick shift, but
Talk about the production value.
I know.
Expecting us to be in the studio. It's like,
if you're not watching this on YouTube, they do look like they do look like quite a couple of cozy teddy bears right there. By the way, the way they're holding hands, they're going to be spooning in about 15 minutes. They're going to be it's going to be nice and friendly.
Oh yeah,
for the close hand. Dude.
For us,
no, and like in terms of
like ladling, but we're that
in terms of guests. In terms of guests, I've had some good ones. I had we've had for a couple times on the show. I had Richard Ojeda, who's a retired Army major, former West Virginia state senator running for Congress in North Carolina. He always brings the energy to every show just because he's like pissed off about just about everything, which on my show is great. Like, it's always nice when someone can give us a fresh perspective, a little jolt of energy. One of my earlier episodes, I had just known locally, Susan Turnbull. She ran for Lieutenant Governor of Maryland in 2018, so we had her on. Like, I even had some well-known comedians on, like Earl Skakel. He was on Earl this year. So yeah, Earl was great on the show. I'd love to have him come back. I think at one point he told me that my show was a bit like Gutfeld's show on Fox, but funny. So I'm like, that is going down. That is going in the book.
That's accurate.
And I love it.
So like with these, you were talking about some of the things that like run-ins you've had. One of the ones that most people talk about is the Comtown guys. Is there ever like a redemption on that? Are you guys ever gonna like? Because I know I've seen Nick talk about how he would like to like talk to you and make amends or whatever. But is that in the plans at all?
If you could find a clip where he said that, I mean, fine. But he's pretty much like he's admitted. And it's documented. He's admitted that he's a liar, that he's lied to me about trying to get me on stuff. Like, there was one thing where years ago, he said he was trying to get me to do a show in Austin, Texas, where he was living at the time. And whatever, like shit happens. I couldn't work it out. And then years later says, "Oh, I asked Tom to do a show and also, but I didn't really mean, I was just lying about it." I'm like, it's okay. You can admit that you failed. I mean, your podcast sounds like shit. Everybody knows you're a failure. So it's like plus I've talked with Nick Mullen enough times from his
Right.
days when he was coming up in the Maryland DC area. There's nothing there's nothing redeemable about him. So I
Hmm.
mean
So you guys
that
are
would
good.
be that would be a hard that's a hard no.
So
I
you're
think.
not a fan of Adam Friedland's show. You're not. You know what
I
I heard
mean,
about Nick Mullen? I heard he wrote Fuckface on Billy Ripken's bat. I heard that was him that did that.
no,
He was
that
the
I don't
child.
think that was Nick Mullen because writing fuckface on the bat was funny.
Oh.
And no, that was can't
Uh,
that automatically rules him out. Sorry, that was a cheap shot.
No,
It was a ground ball. I had to field it, throw
it's
it to
still
first.
funny.
but you're against the rest of the world at this point, so
So-
you have to do this.
I have a quick question about your show.
Okay.
When you're picking guests and topics, do you line anything up in any particular order, or are you just, I'm going to have these people on, we're going to talk about what we talk about? Or are you kind of putting like guardrails on it, or are you just kind of letting it go how it is?
It depends on the episode. Like right now, with everything going on, I have a shit ton of stuff planned, like a bunch of topics, because there's literally so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
That I pretty much have the rest of the spring scripts mapped out. Like I have the various clips that I have that I want to talk about. Like all I have to do is write the opening monologue for each episode, and done. That's one of the few good things about the last. I was about to say 3 or 2 months or however long this has been going on right now. It already feels like 4 years at this point.
Yeah.
So, but I'll have episodes where I won't know what the hell I'm doing like 24 hours before. I'll throw together an episode, and because like the various panelists and I, we gel and we bounce off each other and work with each other so well. It's just it's effortless at this point.
John got this wild text chain message thing we got to show you the other night he was into after the show. It's pretty weird.
Oh yeah,
All these national security people or some shit.
I don't keep up with the news, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's weird. Like it pissed me off, not because of the national security concerns, but it's because the only text chains I'm involved in involve viruses that contain malware that are disguised as cam girl websites.
I mean,
And
how
I
do
for
you
one
not
am
try
tired.
them?
I for one am tired of getting a new phone. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, enough.
Yeah,
I tell myself I'm not going to fall for it again, and then I do. And
it could be real, Tom. You gotta try.
not to not to go too far into the weeds on us, but I had an interesting text chain thing happen earlier this morning where I was trying to respond to one of my friends, but I'm a PI. I do homicide cases. I was trying to do a response to one of my friends, and basically I was calling him a fuckface, and I accidentally responded to this poor lady who I'm helping out who got shot at. And that was a fun one to like, oh, sorry, that was supposed to be towards such and such, and blah blah. So that was a fun little mix up.
it was hacked. It was hacked. Just so you were hacked. That's the big excuse.
I think I know who did it. Actually, I think it was Nick Mullen. I heard.
Probably Nick Mullen.
I'm not sure.
But
No, like I said, what you did was funny, so it could have been.
yeah. Well, there you go. Prime difference.
I did that last night. Actually, I was gonna do this project, and the person sent me a message about the project, and I was talking to this girl about it, and I was like, she didn't really believe me, so I sent her, like, I copied the message, or like part of the message, screenshotted it, and I sent it right back to the person I wrote like a response to it, and I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry, man, I meant to send it. I was trying to impress this girl, and it was embarrassing, and then I had to go kill him. So now I don't, he can never tell anybody.
And listen, you got to do what you got to do.
For sure. Your show is, it's political, pretty political.
That's not fair.
Do you find it hard to find material when there's really nothing going on politically in the world right now?
Well,
it seems pretty bland. I haven't really heard anybody talk about, people seem to be pretty happy overall.
I love the sarcasm, and you setting me up for that quite nice. I mean, there's always something to talk about. I mean, I'm a pretty like it's no secret if you listen to my show. Like it's a pretty left leaning show. Like I'm a pretty liberal, pretty progressive kind of guy.
You are fair though. You're a fair dude. I've listened to the show. You are fair.
Okay, I appreciate that. But it's also one of those things where like, people will ask, oh, when Biden was inaugurated, they said, "Oh, are you going to turn around, turn everything onto Biden?" Like, if he screws up, like if he does something with which I don't agree, of which he has, then of which he did, then I certainly will. I'm not above that, but it's like the people who oppose me ideologically, they clearly, as you can see with Trump getting back in office, they didn't go away. Like they were around, they were still making noise. So it's like, for someone like me, there's always something there. Just like for people like Steve Bannon or Ben Shapiro, or to a lesser extent, even this podcaster named Aaron Imholt, goes by the name Steel Toe, who are fairly conservative. Like there's still stuff there's still stuff for them as well. So it's like for both of us, like if you're really tuned in to current events, it's there's a fountain of information for everybody if you just know where to look.
Not to get too serious about it, but like it does seem in the last, I don't know, few months or so, like everybody was pretty polarized. January, I would say there's a lot of polarization in this country politically, and then over the last couple of months, you see there's a lot of gray area. People are getting a little more nuanced, which I think is a great sign. People are paying attention more and not just aligning with talking points that are given to them. But it also, that also usually means that there's a little trouble going on, guys. Not to get too technical on you. It sounds like there's a little trouble there in places.
And it's perfect. It's perfectly easy if and you see this with every like new administration that comes in. Like there's always some there's always some opposition, some kind of engagement, and then it's like for me, like on the one hand, I take quite joy in seeing political figures getting reamed at in town halls for doing nothing or not doing enough. But at the same time, when they run
away, that's the best.
At the same time, though, it's like I'm asking these guys, okay, where were you last November? Because it's like if they can go ahead and make a fuss and do all that and make their voices heard, which is great. But it's like the ultimate way to make one's voice heard is to go vote, which I do that every opportunity that I can. I love voting. It's the one day of the year I can go to my local middle school and not look like a creep. I mean, it's a great way to make one's voice heard as well. I love it.
I try to, and like they won't let me vote because they keep saying like, you vote for American Idol at home, and I'm like, this is the line for American Idol. It never works out, guys. All right, I'm going to try that again.
Yeah. No, you just 9/11 the fuck out of that joke. You're good to go.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Good, guys. Nick Mullen gave me that joke. Yes, I don't know. I nothing against Nick Mullen, except for
now he's the enemy.
Murder in the fuck face. And,
no. Have you? You're a very smart, informed guy. Even someone who disagrees with you can't argue that. I mean, you consume and process this stuff, and you are on top of it. Have you been invited lately to like other shows that go through this stuff? I could see you on Jimmy Dore's show or something like that easily, to where you could be an opposing figure or a one side or another. I mean, you're that good and you're that quick.
I mean, I appreciate that, and I thank you very much for the endorsement. I personally have not. I think it's just because I give off this vibe, especially from my stand-up clips, that where I'm so psychotic that if anybody goes up against me, that I'll just completely like annihilate them or worse. But I mean, you do see this from time to time where for the most part, a lot of these shows like they want to stay within their own uh, they certainly want to stay within their own echo chamber, and that's even like, true to an extent with me, just because of the volatile nature of the opposition. But I think it's also because like they've done like, and I know CNN's been trying to do this lately. Like they tried that with Crossfire until Jon Stewart went on the show and pretty much just killed that format because people realized what bullshit it was. Because all they were really doing is just yelling at one another, not solving anything, not coming to any common ground. People
Hey,
realized
tell
it was
that at
bullshit.
Thanksgiving in
I'm
my
watching.
family.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well,
That's what we do, and it's not even political. It's just about
Well, the only reason I asked is 'cause,
failure. I know.
you know,
I don't even yell anymore. It's
that's
just, you
true.
agree.
the fuck face bat is funny. Yeah. And
Face
Nick
is
Mullen
funny.
didn't write it on there.
It's
Yeah. Come
true.
on.
You got yours wrapped in barbed wire like a professional wrestler now.
Yeah, Mick Foley.
All right, come on, let's see who does it. But no, I was saying this Tom Myers is the dangerous Tom Myers to me. You know, when you're bringing it, you're calm, you're concerted, you got your points ready. I think that would be cool to see on other shows. I hope people take the opportunity and invite you on because I think it would be a lot of fun, and I think you can show some people some shit that they weren't prepared to see. It would be something I would enjoy seeing anyway.
If I was funny on those shows, that's something that people aren't prepared to see. Apparently, if you believe everything on Reddit, am I a little unstable? Possibly, but you have to be to do this bullshit right here.
Mm-hmm. Do you
But
have you always been like explosive, or do you think that is it a product of like
the devil's red hair?
Yes. Is it? Well, you're lovely. Right?
Oh, well, yeah, I've got
It's the Scotch Irish thing, I've got the ginger hair and all, and it's just made me mad psychotic. That's the only. Apparently, everybody says I do like an Irish or a Scottish accent, like I have that affect. So I was like, that's an actual accent, like not this bullshit right here.
Do you go into the I guess they call it the Mid-Atlantic or Baltimore accent? Do you because I hear it a little bit, but
it ain't much. I can just flip it on and off. I can just flip it on and off like we root for the O's going down the ocean.
Yeah. If I'm up there like more than 3
I live off Blair Road out in Canny outside Balmer City, hon. Come on out.
See, that's so much cooler than when it happens to me because I just sound like fucking Boomhauer from King of the Hill whenever I go into my shit.
Yeah. That I mean, I love that accent.
Oh yeah,
honestly, it's that and the Philly accent. I mean, they're pretty close, I think.
But am I making you wet right now? That's the key.
He's gonna slide off this fucking couch.
I was there already, Tom. I was there already.
Let's do this.
Gushing now.
Nothing but trash bags right below him.
Yeah, that's right. That's the name of the show.
First time in like a couple years I made anybody do that. So I was like, you know what? I will take it.
Tom, tell us what that's like. What's sex
I
like?
will take it.
What's real life sex
If
like?
we find out you used to be a phone sex operator, this is gonna be the best show ever.
I mean,
that'll be for the overtime segment. That'll be.
So you're.
It's like, come on, slap some butter on them crabs, hon. That's it. Yeah, just slap it on there.
Yo, don't slow down. Yo, don't slow down, faggot. You're gonna make me come.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Easy there. Easy. He's joking. YouTube. He's kidding. YouTube's terms of service. Like that's what you got to say now, or else. Like everybody's been getting their channel struck now, or taken down, or
We have the weirdest thing where we'll like, as soon as we hit 1,000 views on something, it'll immediately drop them down
to like 200,
to 200,
and you got to start over again.
And then it starts, and then it'll pick back up, and then all of a sudden it'll drop them down in the like middle of the night, no reason, and I can't figure out why. I've been done research on it.
Is this for your videos or for
for on YouTube videos? Yeah,
or is this for the watch hours?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, even our live stream stuff, it'll happen too, which is weird because
I think we're haunted.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't figure it out. It may be. I don't know.
I mean, YouTube's fucking weird. Like unless you're like a major creator, like Mr. Beast or anything like that, it's like they don't really want to promote you at all. It's like they're pretty much highlighting people who already have their shit together, whereas like the smaller independent creators such as myself, such as you guys, it's like we're pretty much at the point where we're still begging for table scraps at this point and just getting our names out there and and it's not like people. There's the misconception that there's like the low number of views means it's not good content, and that's true for like
it's true for us,
a good chunk of streamers.
Guilty.
Yeah, it's like there's an audience for everybody. Like I know there's an audience for me, but it's trying to get into those channels where I think if I went on more shows like what you were talking about, like maybe not. If I went on a largely right-wing show and pretended and tried to be their opposition, maybe the residuals from that, like if there was if just get the big viral moment, that might happen.
Well, I mean, that's just a lot of those shows where you have the opposition, whatever the swing. It's just theater, man. They give them talking points and they know what they're going to say ahead of time. And then after it's all said and done, they're fine with each other. It's all,
I think that's how you should be about politics anyway.
Well, I do too, but like on camera or audio, whatever they're doing, whatever format, they are adding to their throats, and it's like, how dare you? And
it's just wrestling promos.
Yeah, it's all wrestling, but
that's why I think it'd be great for Tom. Tom would come in there and he would bring something new to the game. It'd be good.
Yeah, true. Mr. Beast, on the other hand, no, he's from North Carolina.
He lives somewhat down the road.
Right. And he has an island in North Carolina where it's
all children,
but they're not, it's not, he's trying
that's not even remotely true.
Wait, that's not
the class of warriors. Yeah. Let me Alex Jones on you real quick. What if Mr. Beast
it's the frogs, it's the gay frogs, and they go to the island children. That's how Mr. Beast gets his views.
Mr. Beast is a beast.
He's gay frog Alex Jones. Now he's all in shape and shit. It's like, I don't watch Alex Jones, but I saw the other day the motherfucker got in shape. I'm like,
that's just
Alex Jones to me. Like, just he fucked me up, man. That's messed up.
Well,
so now I gotta start talking about gay frogs, get in shape. Fucking
gay frogs
drive a big ass truck.
What is?
Hey, don't knock it till you try it, man.
Yeah, I haven't gone down that path yet, but you know what? Time is not waiting and not being kind. So let's see what we got to do.
Let's have this theory. I'm going to start a conspiracy theory right now that Mr. Beast is actually turning people into beasts, like
altered beasts.
What's the Kevin
Dr.
Smith
Moreau
movie? Oh, like Dr. Moreau. That's a better example.
Oh, Dr. Moreau.
Walrus or what was it? Tusk. Yeah,
Tusk, yeah,
like that. He's just bringing people to his island, and when they lose, or maybe if they win, he turns them into some creature.
We better stay the fuck away.
And then he makes them make candy.
Yeah, but we're already halfway there.
I haven't thought about this yet, but it's true. It's 100% true because I just said it.
They make them eat candy.
Well, he ripped that concept off from Pleasure Island in Pinocchio.
That is true.
Kevin Smith is a fucking hack.
That's true. Boy.
Oh, I'm going to set up a camera outside a convenience store and make a movie out of that. What a fucking hack nut.
I heard that Nick Mullen gave him that idea. That's all I heard. I don't know if that's true, but you know who? That would be a great guy. I don't know if you are a follower of his, but Mick West, I think would be an interesting guy on your show. Mick West is his whole thing is debunking basically conspiracy theories, and a lot of it's based on.
And he's English,
right? Well, he's got an interesting background because he was one of the lead designers on the Tony Hawk skating games, and like he sort of made his money off of that. And since then, he
fell into professional debunking.
Yeah,
and he's pretty renowned at it.
Well, I am working with a friend of mine who's used to be a panelist on my show, Joshua Postel. We are putting together another podcast where it is going to be like talking about conspiracy theories and sort of debunking them. Just if they sound too ridiculous, we're going to go after them. So, I mean, there is something else in the works. So the wheels in this noggin are always they're always turning. So
I'm definitely going to watch that.
What's one conspiracy theory you believe?
The one conspiracy theory
any of them. Let's give 5 in a row. What's your top 5? Let's go.
You can say one, it'll be amazing.
Yeah. Do you have any that you believe?
The biggest one, I'm tend to inclined that Donald Trump really didn't get shot. Like that's the one, the latest one that I didn't believe, because like a lot of people are saying like if he did, like if it turns out that he did end up getting shot, I'll go ahead and be the first to say, okay, I'll issue a mea culpa and say, okay, that's was an error on my part. But it was like, the ear healed up quite nicely. Well, because like if something gets hit in the ears, like there's supposed to be a lot of damage. Like the big theory is that he actually cut himself when he went to the ground and caught his head on the podium. Like that's where a lot of the blood came out. Yeah.
I think a lot of people.
I don't go so far as to saying those are like squibs or ketchup on his ear. Like I think he did get hurt falling down. It's just a question as to whether or not a bullet
always use Heinz.
I mean,
I think.
He was in Western Pennsylvania when it happened. You got to get the quality product. Well, the Heinz
Ward was there too. I don't know if he was.
The Heinz family. I don't know if you know this. The Heinzes were distantly related to the Trumps. I don't know if you know that.
And then
because like there's a common ancestor in Germany, and so it's like Donald Trump is a cousin to the Heinz family. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's actually true. Like that's been documented. And John Heinz was a senator from Pennsylvania. He died, and his widow ended up marrying John Kerry, who was
that's what I was going to catch up. Yeah. Who was the earthquake joke?
Oh, was it earthquake or Lavelle Crawford?
Maybe it was Lavelle.
Yeah, he was like, "Why ain't running for president?
My bitch on ketchup.
My bitch on ketchup." Fucking greatest line ever. But a lot of people don't know. If you look closely, there was one of the I guess I don't know what their title is. A specialist from Claire's Boutique that was actually giving him they
gave him the old
the ear while that was going on. So maybe it slipped. I don't know. I'm starting new conspiracy theories.
The problem I had, I don't.
This is the show to do it, man. I mean, come on, let's roll. Let's roll.
Nobody's listening anyway. No.
I imagine if you put my name on this, it will trigger some kind of algorithm.
Can't wait.
Well, the good thing about it is like internet trolls don't exist or anything like that. So it's pretty cool that everybody's on the level. We'll get.
I got to see this.
I'll say this. Welcome in advance to my world. You will get plenty of them.
No, it's happy to be here.
Yeah, we've been there for a while. It happens. People.
I got to say this about the Trump getting shot thing that might bolster your argument. I had a problem. I didn't have much of a problem with, I looked at the tape and I've been doing these investigations for 20 years. The problem I had, and it may be just an issue of how he does his makeup, is there was no facial or ear bruising. Like when you have so many hematomas that are come from the energetic dispersal of even a clip as miraculous as that was, your face moves in so many different and painful ways just from the sheer amount of energy through a bullet of that caliber that's going to push through your body, Nick or not, is huge.
Nick Mullen?
Yes.
Oh,
and
I don't know. Keep bringing him up, man.
And his face would have had to move in all kinds of unnatural ways. And I've seen people with similar, they were more sustained, but deflection wounds, and just the amount of like hematomas and bruising and things on the face.
Well, also, the makeup stops here. So like if you notice that like whatever bronzer that he uses, it always stops like right before you get to the ear.
I think they apply. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be political. I think it's initially applied with a mask. The way that looks.
Wait, that's not his natural skin color?
Strangely not.
Are you serious?
But
Donald Trump from Home Alone 2.
I know.
Are you serious?
I know, dude. I peek behind the curtain.
What else is he doing something else now?
But yeah, the lack of hematoma and bruising and like maybe it was makeup or whatever they covered, but if he was even just barely touched by that bullet, it's more than likely you would have something very noticeable. So to your point, maybe that's something to consider. I don't have anything else that says that it wasn't.
You apparently know more about this stuff than I do. I mean, I'm not.
He did the makeup for Thriller, so it was. He knows. You were 3 years old, I think. Maybe I don't know how old.
I was very good.
Very good though. Which is exactly how Michael Jackson wanted it.
Yeah,
3 years old.
3 years old. I was right in the wheelhouse.
You were his target audience, literally.
Yeah, well, not to his horn too much, but he was an investigative journalist for crime for years locally too. So if you ever need any, anything dug into or whatever,
but
just hit us up, man.
Guessed. The great thing about it is you can just guess. That guy looks like he's running for office with his deal.
Yeah.
I mean, also, it's like I'll do episodes of my show, that aren't necessarily about politics or the news, just certain like social events. I did an episode about AI not too long ago. I did a spring break episode. And so every once in a while, it's nice to get away from. It's nice to get away from politics and current events, which is why I like doing the stand-up. And if I want to get away from stand-up and the podcasting, I've got the baseball announcing. It's like an excuse. I've got a very like well-rounded, like I'm involved in so many things right now that I don't have too much free time. And this isn't a way for me asking to bail. I promise. I'm actually having a good time here. So, but it's like, I need to have. It's like I need to have that balance. Otherwise, if I just do one thing, then I'm gonna go completely fucking bonkers.
You are really you're an amazing dude. We are fans, and we're so grateful you came on.
Oh, real quick, best place to spring break. I'm gonna tell you mine right now. Lighthouse at Havre Grace. Let's go. Let's do it. Best place to spring. No.
Road trip. Let's do this.
The saddest spring break ever.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Go down to the little walk there.
Spring sadness.
Yeah, go down to the lighthouse and just
let's everyone talk about the girl that got away.
You got plenty of bars down there. Come on now. There's plenty of
bars here. But you're talking about the girl that got away. I left my trunk open.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
Well, you should listen to Ray Lewis.
She was like, she was like a real John Wilkes Booth, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Broken leg and all.
No, wrong Ray. You should have listened to Ray Rice.
True. My bad. I got it mixed up.
Yeah, he knew how to finish it, I guess. I don't know.
We like Ray Lewis here, right?
Right.
Actually, it's weird. It's weird because I have this one T-shirt that I can't wear anymore because it's so tone deaf, and I happened to wear it. It's a Ravens shirt, and I wore it. I was checking into this hotel like a night early for this gig I had out in the middle of Nevada, and the person who was in charge of running the comedy show at this hotel where I was staying, it was at a hotel casino, came down, was dressed head to toe in Steelers stuff. So I'm like, oh, fuck. So, but the shirt that I was wearing was Ray Rice. It was one of those like fan made T-shirts. It wasn't official merchandise. And in big letters at the top was, y'all want a piece of this.
Yeah.
So
that little blood on it.
It's like talk about talk about something not aging well. I mean, that's the quintessential example.
My Ray Rice shirt was smeared lipstick and blood spatter on it.
At least you didn't have a Ben Rapist Burger shirt on, so you had that going for you.
You bleed. That's what I say to That's what I'll say to him. Oh, you bleed black and gold just like Ben Rapistburger's dates. I see how that goes.
Yeah, he did like to rape guys.
He did. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Allegedly,
he was pretty good at it, from what I understood.
Allegedly, allegedly.
But you look at that big dumb head of his, and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, he rapes. It's fine. He's a raper.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not fine.
Well, it's not fine.
Oh no, he's fine. He's
but you know,
quarterback.
You know, you wouldn't blame Frankenstein for being afraid of fire.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think that's the same thing. But
yeah,
well, personally, just
potato.
Whatever. This is exactly what I imagined this episode to be.
just descending into complete chaos.
Yeah. No, man. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you were a joy, dude. We really enjoyed it.
And I enjoyed chatting with y'all. So thank you for having me on.
Well, next time I come your way, I'm gonna.
Boy, that was a long pause.
What?
Next time I come,
no,
your way.
No, that's gonna be in a few minutes. I'm gonna finish.
I'm leaving.
Get it out of the brain, and
I said, I'm 42. I understand, man. You do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. I don't judge anymore.
Me neither. I don't care what they say at Best Buy. It's fine. Their TVs are there for something. Yeah, laptops and TVs out there. What else are they supposed to be used for? But no, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And I like your attitude. I think some people will curl up or take offense to it. You have been productive in it and proactive in what you're doing, and I wish more people were like that.
And you're the man.
Yeah, for sure, and really funny too. So,
well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And it's like I just do what I do for the love of it, man. And it's one of those things where it's like if everybody liked me, like it would be boring as fuck. Like it's like some of the whenever I see like some clips of people who like talk shit about me, who try and like deconstruct everything I'm saying and just coming up with conclusions that are completely like off base or not what I was saying at all. It's like I find those fucking hilarious. So it's like the fact that there's people out there who hate me is like that just fuels me. I think I'll know the time is right to retire when like all of my detractors have died from fentanyl. Like I think I'll know that's when it's time. Like, okay, my job here is done.
Good thing you don't live what we do because it happens every day. It's always great. Guy I hated in high school. He's been dead for 5 years now. Yep. It's great. Yeah, get a little back injury and got on that fentanyl road. But
which is also an Arlo Guthrie song.
Yeah, it's my favorite Arlo Guthrie song.
Just travel down that fentanyl road.
That was Steve Earle, man.
Nighttime traveling down fentanyl road.
We're doing an album.
Yeah,
that's it. It's decided. We're all
getting my pills from a guy named Wacky Walter.
Yeah. Hey, you know Walter.
Hey, Walter. Not so wacky anymore. Just sits there on fentanyl all day.
They just call him Waggy Walter.
All right, Tom. Thank you so much again. You got your social media and your show. Can you give us some plugs here real quick?
Yeah, tommyers.us, MYERS. People do spell it the other way. You won't if you go to, I think, if you search for like MEYERS, like if you type that, I think it redirects to like a Korean porn site or something, which I think might be, yeah, more people might enjoy that, but my
Nico Chen is very good.
My Instagram is on there, the.tom.myers. I'm on Blue Sky, the Tom Myers, which is what Twitter used to be before Elon Musk took it over and it descended into disinformation and racists and Nazis. Patreon.com/Tom Myers. Use the promo code 20 Myers, again, 20 MYERS, to get 20% off the first month of a premium membership. There's a lot of cool stuff on there that I've uploaded. I upload a lot of content on there. Tom Myers versus the rest of the world. available on my Patreon, my YouTube channel, and wherever you get your podcasts. And on my YouTube channel, I do like periodic live streams, like at 9 a.m. Eastern, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, unless I don't have anything to talk about, in which case, But no, that's but the big website is tommyers.us. Pretty much everything you never wanted to know about yours truly.
Well, we will
Excellent.
post all the links up.
Excellent.
And thank you again so much.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for having me on.
All right, Tom. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
All right. Bye.